If you're interested in high-paying jobs, if you are interested in a healthier future, if you are about those two things, then biotechnology is going to have a major impact in your life. Now, speaking personally, I really like the idea, Fritz, that when you talk about high-paying jobs, when you talk about quality of life, you talk about bioscience and biotechnology as being the epicenter of that, and Texas being a part of that conversation, that gives me great pride. I love that fact. One of the great things about Texas performing so well in this study that you're going to see here is that it gives us an opportunity to strike down a few stereotypes or two. I know that's hard to believe that there are stereotypes about Texans, but I know when people think about Texas, they think about cowboys, they think about cowboy hats and boots, they think about barbecue, and they think about everyone having an oil well gushing in their backyard. Now, it's true that we are very proud of our role as an energy leader. And we do make some good barbecue. But beyond that, we've taken some major steps over the years to diversify our economy. And those steps are what have led us to this particular juncture that we find ourselves in today. Anyone who's been through a couple of boom or bust cycles in any economy can see the need for economic diversification. Anyone who's ever watched a family member bravely fighting cancer, struggling with diabetes, heart disease, other debilitating diseases, realize the need for very aggressive research, treatments, and cures. Texas biotech sector was born out of the desire to meet those needs by our citizens. Today, the Texas biotechnology sector is poised to become our state's next great industry. We've got the workforce, we have the talent, we have the universities, we have the business climate to make Texas a leader in biotech research, development, and commercialization. Texas has always been a natural fit for innovation, for creative people trying to accomplish something that had never been done before. You know, from the development of the integrated circuit at Texas Instruments to space exploration at the Johnson Space Center, life-saving treatments and innovative technology that came out of MD Anderson in the pursuit of curing cancer. Texas has been on the cutting edge of ideas, a place where technology of the day and some of that quantity of good old-fashioned common sense meet and create something new. Of course, if you want to see the main reason that biotech is prospering, you have to start with our business climate. Biotech companies are businesses. That's what they are at their heart. And we've worked hard to create an economic climate where companies from any sector can succeed and grow. Recently, Chief Executive Officer magazine, CEO magazine, chose Texas as the best state to do business for the 8th consecutive year. We're obviously committed to making that 9 years in a row, and you can please pass that on to Governor McDonnell. I have great competition with my fellow governors, and which is a good thing. Rick Scott down in Florida is always reminding me that he is close on Texas' heels, and I tell him to run harder. Because it is that competition, I happen to believe, that will drive this country's economy. And CEO Magazine is far from the only publication that has talked about what they're seeing in Texas, whether it's Forbes, it's USA Today, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Site Selection Magazine. I'll be doing an interview this afternoon with MSNBC. I know that surprises some people that I would actually talk to MSNBC, but on their business side, they truly do get it from the standpoint of what it takes. And they're all singing the praises about the business climate in my home state, a climate that remains a major reason biotech firms are choosing Texas today. They see that we've made a place where you won't be hindered by overtaxation wrapped up in bureaucratic red tape, or find yourselves at the mercy of predatory attorneys seeking to make steady money off of you at the courthouse. They see that we made a place where a world-class workforce is capable of fulfilling whatever that employer's needs may be, whether it's producing a life-saving vaccine, selling a product line, or securing equipment necessary to complete the task at hand. In short, they see we've created a fertile climate where innovators are free to create, to nurture their ideas, where government stays out of the way. That's good for any type of company, and it's particularly good for innovative young companies seeking firm footing during those early years of their formation. However, that's not all Texas has to offer over the last decade. We have invested in programs that have helped spur a massive amount of research in our state and also helped commercialize that research. Among the first I should mention is the Texas Emerging Technology Fund. That fund is a tool that we created, Jonathan, some 7 years ago, and it serves two main purposes. One, it helps to attract the top flight researchers from across the country and around the world through grants and grant matching funds. And two, it enables us to invest in promising young companies that otherwise might flee to the coast in search of easier access to funds, whether it's angel investors or whether it's venture capital. And it's succeeded on a massive scale in both of its functions. Through it, the state has invested more than $177 million in grant matching and research superiority funds in Texas universities, putting some of the top researchers in the world to work on projects that will improve communities, cure diseases, and save lives. I'll give you just one example. The Emerging Technology Fund enabled us to recruit a very noted researcher, and we only had to go across the state line on this one to get Dr. Darwin Prokop and his team to Texas. He was over in Louisiana. Today, they are hard at work on research dealing with adult stem cells, particularly on the paralysis side, spinal paralysis. And that is a particularly exciting area of study from my perspective. We're working hard to make Texas an epicenter for its development and commercialization. As a matter of fact, we will be announcing, I guess I'm fixing to announce it right here, sorry, press. We'll be announcing soon the international conference on adult stem cells in Houston this coming October. There are hundreds of adult stem cell clinical trials that are going on and being currently conducted in Texas. Researchers have successfully treated heart attack and stroke victims, making progress in this treatment of spinal cord injuries, as I mentioned with Dr. Prokop. And just this year, Dr. Doris Taylor, a world leader in adult stem cell science, moved to Houston from another state to continue her research at the Texas Heart Institute. Beyond attracting these researchers, the fund has invested in 133 early-stage companies, more than $169 million, helping ensure that innovations created in Texas remain here throughout their productive cycle, from the laboratory to manufacturing to the marketplace. And I know I don't have to tell you all the value of those sorts of companies in your state. But in terms of dollars and cents, I'm proud to say that the value of our portfolio is already worth more than the sum of our original investment. It also brought in $4 of public sector matching funds for every $1 that we've invested. Now that is real, and that is tangible progress. 2 years ago, or I should say 2 years after the Emerging Technology Fund got its start, I called on Texas to take another step in the biotech world with the creation of a different program, this one specifically targeting cancer. In 2007, Texas lawmakers passed and Texas voters approved the creation of the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas. We commonly call it CPRIT. It was a $3 billion effort over a 10-year period of time focused on defeating cancer. CPRIT has awarded 387 awards totaling more than $670 million for cancer research, commercialization, prevention. This has gone to academic institutions, nonprofit organizations, and private companies, including matching funds. That's more than $900 million pumped into the fight against cancer in Texas. Lastly, and although it's not specifically targeted at the biotech universe, I also should mention our Texas Enterprise Fund, which is one of the most effective deal-closing funds in the country. And through those deals, we've been able to attract some of the most recognizable companies in the country: Apple, Caterpillar, Facebook, just to name a few. And since its inception, we've invested more than $467 million to bring projects totaling more than 63,000 new jobs that total over $21.4 billion in capital investment to Texas. More than $98 million of those funds have gone to biotech companies like Medtronic, Becton Dickinson, Scott & White, Hanger Orthopedics. And you all may have heard just yesterday, I hope you have, a major announcement that was made both in Washington, D.C. and Austin, Texas simultaneously, that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has selected Texas A&M as one of only 3 sites in the nation for a Center of Innovation in Advanced Development and Manufacturing. This national center will play a key role in securing our country from bioterrorism and global pandemics through the very rapid development of, and manufacturing, I might add, of vaccines and therapies to protect human life. It's a fascinating development, and one that we've worked on for about a decade. And yesterday was the culmination of a lot of really bright, capable men and women who had a vision. And it also is going to further solidify Texas as a vital part of this ongoing development of life-saving vaccines and treatments. This will also help Texas remain atop the destinations for researchers from around the world. It's going to bring in billions of dollars from outside research for decades to come.